Okay, hello. Today we are doing area and perimeter similarity, our lesson and assignment on that. So please open that. Okay. So the first thing we've got is we've got some notes. So please, we're going to watch a video. Right now you're watching the video. So you've already clicked on that. And the first thing I want you to open is open some notes here. And when you open this, remember, you're going to need to make a copy, right? So you can make notes on it. So make a copy like that. And then if you need to translate it, you can also translate it like here, okay? So just a reminder. Now, when you open it in Kami, there's two places, there or there. When you're in a Google document like this, Google Docs, you'll want to hit this one right here, okay? Not that, but the other one, okay? Okay, hopefully this is translated, but if not, make sure that you use the translation here, Tools, Translate, so you can read it in your language. So the first thing I want you to do is just look. So this is what we're learning about today. Area and perimeter of similar figures. And there's some key definitions. So I want you to read these. Perimeter, it's the distance around a two-dimensional shape, the distance. Whereas the area is the size of a surface, a two-dimensional surface. So here's a picture that shows how they calculate the perimeter, okay? The perimeter of this rectangle, what they do is they go this side 7, 3, 7, 3, so they add up those numbers and they get 20, okay? So that's the perimeter. Okay, so next, let's look at the area. What is the area? It's the size of a surface. What does that mean by size? It's like if this is one block right here, then there's 1, 2, 3, there's 9 blocks. So the size of that is 9 blocks, right? However many. Is it an inch? Is it a millimeter? Is it a mile? Same thing here. How many blocks? 1, 2. We count them up and there's 9. So 3 different ways to show that they all have the area or the size of 9, like 9 blocks. Again, now, how do you calculate what is the area of a rectangle? So the area is going to be width times height, okay? So that's the formula. So you go 5 multiplied by 3, so this is 15, okay? So that's how you do the area, just a review. Okay, so now that we know that, make sure you translate this over here if you need to, right? Make sure you translate this. And we're gonna calculate the perimeter and the area of two different figures, figure 1 and figure 2, and we're gonna put the information here. So what is the perimeter of figure 1? This is figure 1 right here, right? So what we would do, it's the distance, right? So we're gonna count 1, 2, 3 blocks that way, and on the bottom it's gonna be the same, right? So it's gonna be 3, and then over here we're gonna have, let's see if I can get my pen to work. So over here, we're going to have 1, 2. So that's 2, and then 2 over here. So then we go 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. That's going to be 5, 7, 10. Or you can say there's two 2's, right? So there's going to be 2 times 2 plus 3, right? Because 1, 2, 2, and 2, 3. So I can do it like this. So 2 times 5 is equal to 10. So that's one way you can do it. But anyway, that's 10, the perimeter for figure 1. What's the area of figure 1? Well, remember, it's how many blocks. What's the area? So see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. But if you think about it, isn't it just 2 this way by 3 this way? So I can go 2 times 3 equals 6. So the area is 6, okay? Why don't you try figure 2? Let's see what you get for the perimeter and the area. So you may want to pause the video and see what you get. Okay, well, for figure 2, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 this way, and it's going to be the same on top. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 here and 4 there. So what do I get? I get 6 plus 4, 10, and then 10 on the other side. Remember, it's a rectangle. It's 10 on both sides. So 10 plus 10, I get 20 for the perimeter. And then for the area, I get 4 height times base times 6 equals 24, okay? So what do we notice about this, okay? Anything? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use a diagram to answer the questions about the two figures. What is the scale factor? Remember this? We learned about this. What is the scale factor, okay? So remember, go back here and do the translation right here to make sure you understand what's being said right there, okay? Okay, Well, the scale factor is what we multiply the bottom one to get the top one. Remember that? So what do we, this is bigger, right? This is the big one. So what do we multiply figure 1 times to get figure 2? Well, let's try another one, okay? The scale factor for the perimeter, what do we do to get from here to here? Well, that's times 2, right? 10 times 2 equals 20, right? Or we can go 20 divided by 10, and that is equal to 2. But either way, the scale factor is 2, okay? What about here? Okay, so here the area, so this is the perimeter. So the area scale factor is going to be 24 divided by 6 equals 4, okay? Or 6 multiplied by 4 equals 24. So there's different scale factors. Scale factor for perimeter is 2. Scale factor for area is 4, okay? Well, let me check something else. Let's do another figure. How about this? Okay, I want you to pause the video and I want you to figure out the area of the perimeter and the area of the first one and the perimeter and the area of the second one. Are you done yet? Well, I show 3 this way and 2 this way. So the perimeter is going to be 5 times 2, so perimeter is 10. So it's just like the one up above. It looks like it's the same size, right? And then the area is going to be 2 times 3, so that is 6, right? 2 times 3. Okay, how about figure 2? Well, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 9 plus 6 is 15. And then over there, so we're going to get 30 for the perimeter for figure 2. What's the area? 9 times 6, right? So that is 54. Okay? So let's summarize what we find. What's the scale factor here? The scale factor here is going to be 30 divided by 10 equals 3. So that's the scale factor. How about this one? 54 divided by 6, the scale factor is 9. Okay? So there's something that we're going to notice here. And let's go check it out. So when k is equal to 2, the perimeter is multiplied by 2, right? When k is 2, the perimeter is multiplied by 2 to get the area scale factor of 4, right? When the perimeter is 3, right here, the scale factor to get the area is now, it's 9, right? So what does that tell us? When the scale factor for the perimeter is 5, we're going to multiply by 5. But what do you think about the area? We're multiply by the area to get the scale factor for the area. What do you think? How do we go from 2 to 4 or 3 to 9? Any ideas? Well, okay, this is how it works. It's going to be this thing here, squared equals 4, and 3 squared equals 9. Remember, squaring is 2 squared is equal to 2 times 2, okay? 3 squared is equal to 3 times 3 if you forgot. So what do you think about the 5? Any ideas? It's going to be 5 squared or 25. So that's what you would do with the area, okay? To get from the small one to the big one, okay? Okay, so now let's go ahead. I made a mistake here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at this figure here. We're going to look at this figure 2 and try to figure out what's the area and what's the perimeter. And we're going to start with figure 1. It's dilated or increased by a scale factor of 5 in this case, since it's greater than 1. And this is pretty easy to figure out the perimeter. We actually already did it in the previous examples. This is the same, so it was 10 was the perimeter and the area was 6, right? So let's go ahead and mark that up. I'm going to use blue for a second here. So perimeter we already know is 10, the area was 6. We already determined that before. The next thing is, if the scale factor is 5, what do we do to get the perimeter? Well, we just use the scale factor, so that's going to be 10 times 5 from here, right? And that is 50. How about the area? Well, the area, you remember, we have to convert that to we have to take this 5 and take it to the square root of 25. So that means we're going to multiply the area by, not by 5, but by 5 squared. So 5 squared equals 25. So that means 6 times 25 would be, what would that be? 120, but that would be 150. See? So we're going to do times 25 when we're dealing with the area, okay? All right. So let's look at the rule about what we just learned and summarize it, okay? So if a figure is scaled by a factor of k, that's the symbol for scale factor, the perimeter of the figure is scaled by what? Can you guess? K also. What about if the area of the figure would be scaled by what? Well, it's going to be k squared, okay? So we're going to take it k squared. Remember, that's the same as k times k. Okay, so let's look at some examples right here and do those before you do the assignment, okay? You may want to try it yourself and pause the video and then come back and check it, okay? So one moment, so you may pause it. Okay, so let's look at the first one. We've got the smaller figure. We're told the perimeter is 45 and the area is 30 centimeters squared. It's asking, what is the scale factor? What is the scale factor, okay? Well, we know that the perimeter is going to be whatever you multiply by the small to get the large. So I'm going to take this 20 and divide by 5, and I'm going to get a scale factor of 4. So that means that is 4. That's all I do, because these sides are the same sides, right? Now, the area is 30. So that means that we have to take the smaller one, 30, and multiply it not just by k of 4, but k squared or 4 squared. So 4 squared is 16. So that's actually equal to 480, okay? So that means that, what do we do to get the perimeter for the large perimeter? We have to go 45. So that's a smaller one, right? Times 4. I didn't do that before, but I should have. So that's going to be 180, right? So again, so it's going to be 45, the perimeter of the small one, times 4, that we got by 20 divided by 4. Here, for the area, we have to take 30 times not just 4, but 4 squared to get 480, okay? So I want you guys to try this one, and then pause the video and then come back. Okay, so step number 1, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what is the scale factor. What is k equal to, right? Well, we can take 6 and divide it by 3, and we get 2. So that's your scale factor, okay? Now, what's very important about this is we are given information about the larger figure. We're told it's 60, and the larger area is 192. So to get the smaller perimeter, we got to take the larger perimeter and not multiply it by 2, but we have to divide by 2, okay? Because we're getting smaller. So that would be 30 is the smaller perimeter, and the smaller area is equal to what? It's going to be 192 divided by not just 2, but 2 squared, which is 192 divided by 4. That's going to be 48, okay? So the smaller perimeter is 30. The smaller area is 48, okay? So when you're going from smaller to larger, you multiply by 4 to get bigger. And when you're going from larger to smaller, because we get larger information, you have to divide by the scale factor. Okay, so now you're ready for the assignment. And you use your notes that you just took, and the assignment's right here. You open that up, and what you'll notice about the assignment is that you've got the same kind of questions. Sometimes they give you the perimeter of the smaller one, and you can figure out the perimeter in the area of the bigger one. And so sometimes they give you the area of the larger figure, and you have to find the smaller one. So make sure you read carefully. And then when you're done with that, make sure you do the additional review and then enter your answers in Canvas.